All right, Kasra, thanks so much for joining me for today's video. So I want to talk to you about some of the updates that have been happening inside of Google. A lot of people freaking out. What is going on? Can you give us just a quick update from your side, from what you're seeing?
So thanks for having me on, first of all. I would probably say that the biggest thing that's happened is Google's gotten a lot smarter. Um, I
Right.
actually asked recently in a Twitter live, like, if any of you guys were to go back prior to the update and search, like, let's say you wanted to go and buy a monitor and you searched best monitors, would you actually believe the SERP that's actually been displayed to you? And there was like 3 other SEOs there, and every single one of them said no. So I feel like there was a massive issue, and Google's essentially tried to rectify that as much as they can. So that's probably what the helpful content's done.
Right. And so have you personally seen, I know you work with a lot of sites. What have you seen? What's going up? What's going down? What do you think are the main reasons?
Yeah, so obviously user-generated content sites like Reddit, the Quoras of the world and stuff like that, and also some forums as well, they've obviously went up. Now, I would argue that in some cases they're probably providing a better answer for the actual question that's being asked in the actual SERP. Whereas if, say, for example, they were serving an affiliate site that's not actually bought the products, there's not that debate there. So, like, for example, if you were to go and search, I don't know, best monitors on Reddit, right? There's more likely going to be 5 or 6 different guys, and one person's going to say, "Well, I recommend Dell because of X, Y, and Z," and there's going to be another person that's going to say, "Well, I recommend the LG because of X, Y, and Z." There's going to be another person that's going to say Samsung or whatever else. So there's that bit of debate in actual user generated content. So in some cases, I can understand why Reddit and Quora and stuff have been pushed to the top.
Mhm.
Um, Whereas if you just land on an affiliate site, 9 times out of 10, the first result in the affiliate site or on the table is going to be the highest paying. So if Dell's got a 95% affiliate program and LG's got a 75% and Samsung's
Yeah.
got 50%, it's going to go in accordance of who's paying the most.
Right.
So I feel like Google's just gotten a little bit smarter when it comes to that. One thing that I'll also say is that websites that have built up their EEAT and their brand SERP and their offers and their genuine offers, not just a persona off of this person doesn't exist.com, then those websites have also seen some really good results as well. So it's all about building a good set of foundations, which you should have been doing in the first place. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that have a very similar strategy when it comes to SEO, a lot of like the niche site guys, where they've copied and pasted a strategy that used to work. And don't get me wrong, that was a good strategy. But I feel like you always need to diversify your strategy. Like, one thing that I will always say, and you can go back and listen to any one of my podcasts, is if I meet somebody that is absolutely amazing at content, I'm going to only speak to them about content. I'm not going to speak to them about links.
Mm.
I'm going to go and speak to somebody else about links or videos or podcasts. It's like when you're an SEO, you should always be a project manager. And I feel like there's a lot of SEOs in the world right now where they think that they're the best at content, they're the best at links, they're the best at images, they're the best at videos, and it's definitely not the case. I feel like you should always be leveraging your network and figuring out, right, who's the best at content? I'm only going to go and speak to that one person on content. Who's the best at videos? I'm going to only speak to that guy on videos. And I feel like that's where a lot of people have actually messed up in their SEO strategy.
Okay, so I do want to go back to one of the things that you said. So we know what the setup was like in the past. I think we kind of have an idea of what that looks like. But what is the ideal setup today that you think is Google algorithm update proof?
So building a strong brand, like, I
Brand.
feel
Yeah,
like,
brand is number one, dude. Yeah.
yeah. So when I say brand, that doesn't always necessarily mean the amount of links. It could be like unlinked mentions. Like, if you go and look at IBM, they have a lot of links that don't actually link to them, but it just mentions the brand. They might have like some newsworthy articles, or I don't know, they might have hired 500 employees in a third world country, and it's newsworthy, and their brand's getting mentioned because they've done something of news, right? So that's super important. That's like what I like to call foundational style links, where people are just mentioning your brand. You're essentially becoming part of the corpus. Like, if you were to go and set up a brand new website tomorrow, nobody knows who you are. Like, you could be the best brain surgeon in the world. Like, you can go and literally dedicate your entire life for the next 10 years to becoming the best brain surgeon in the world, and nobody knows who you are, right? So if you were to go and set up a brain surgeon website, you need to become part of the corpus, is what a lot of people call it. So making sure that your brand and also your competitors are mentioned on another website is important, because you're getting closer to that corpus. So Google understands who, I don't know, Kasra Dash is, or Kasra Dash the brain surgeon, or whatever industry you're actually going into. So I feel like that's super important. Then after you've set up like your foundational style links, I feel like there's not enough people that focus on EEAT. Like, people just think it's an offer box on a page, or an about page, or an offer page, right? It's not just that. Like, you couldn't be any more wrong if you think that EEAT is just an offer box. Like,
Give it to us, dude. Just give it to
us. That's on page EEAT, right? So,
right.
Okay, you've got an offer page, you've got an offer box on every single article. You might have some socials, maybe, and on your offer page, you've got the hobbies of the actual offer, right? You've ticked maybe one or two boxes in EEAT, but is your actual offer mentioned on other websites? Are they a contributor on other websites? Like, you go and look at Kasra Dash, like go and search it up right now. You'll very quickly see that I'm mentioned on various other websites. You go and search Matt Diggity. He's mentioned on websites like SEMrush, like Ahrefs, like Search Engine Journal. Like, those are all high trustworthy websites that all mention Matt Diggity. So if somebody was to go and manually review his website, which we see a lot of, like, very quickly, if they were to search Matt Diggity or Kasra Dash, they'll say, all right, so he's an SEO guy. He knows about SEO. We're not going to penalize his website because he's not just went and blasted a load of articles on his website talking about SEO. So that's another thing, again, like with the offers and stuff. And I also think that the third thing that a lot of people get confused on is topical coverage versus topical authority. So I done a video recently on my YouTube, and I was speaking about this, and I said, just because you have 999 articles talking about cars doesn't mean you're topical authority on cars. You have topical coverage on cars, but if you have one page on that website talking about PPC, your website to Google is deemed as a PPC topical authority if that one page is getting all the traffic. So you can have 999 pages. If they don't get traffic, it doesn't mean anything in Google's eyes.
Got it.
It's all about how much traffic is actually coming onto your website.
Okay. So you're thinking, and I guess your hypothesis is, I mean, we don't know what's right and what's wrong, but that it's most likely those affiliate websites that aren't really focusing on EAT, haven't built a solid brand, don't have those foundational links. It's just those, I mean, I think we've all seen it, those like cookie cutter affiliate websites that are just trying to just blast as much content as possible. Quality of the links, do you think that matters, or is that something that you think is secondary?
Yes, quality. So this is a controversial topic in the
Yeah.
SEO industry, right? And I love
That's why I
controversial
bring
topics.
it up.
So a lot of people think that links or bad links are just ignored by Google, and you couldn't be any more wrong. And if you think that, just stop watching the video. Like, it's a
Get
joke
outta
that
here.
you think that.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, right? So there is some truth to it. Google ignores really bad links. Like, I don't know if you remember, like 6-7 years ago, you can get a GSA blast and you can destroy somebody's site very quickly in a couple hours worth of work, right? Google's become smart enough to ignore those links. Whereas when it comes to, like, there's a lot of guest posts and there's a lot of link builders that don't want me to say this, but I will, right?
Do it.
So there's a lot of links in these link building agencies, like it's part of their list and stuff like that, and they look like genuine websites. Like, they've got high DR, they've got high traffic, the traffic trajectory is going up. It's a toxic link, right? At face value, it looks like a really good link, but if you actually do a little bit more digging, it's definitely not. Those are the links you need to be worried about. Like,
so wait, sorry to interrupt you.
What?
How do you know if it's a toxic link? Like, what are those extra checks that you're doing that we should do as well?
There's obviously, like, people just look at DR, right? And you couldn't be any, or DR or DA, right? I feel like there's a lot of, like, the niche guys that still use Moz. I don't know why, but again, like, just don't just base it off of one metric. You should be using a lot of different metrics. Like, look at the link graph. The link graph's super important. There's links that are like DR5, right? That are really high up in the link graph that no SEO would buy, because guess what? It's not a DR20 that everybody else wants. And it's like, really? Right? So there's certain links like that. Obviously, you need to look at link rot. So the links that are pointing to that website as well is pretty important. And also looking at the trust factor as well. So we use a tool called LRT. Not affiliated by them one bit. I wish I was, because we spend like 20 or 19 grand a month on the tool. We've got the biggest package there is. So what that tool does is it takes into consideration the link graph, link decay, link rot, and it also looks at how many links that website is also acquiring, which is also important, because if that website is, let's say, publishing 30 articles, but it's not acquiring that many links, that again can be a bad link as well. Yep. So we use LRT for all of our disavows. If you use any other tool, you're going to probably mess up your website. And even if you use LRT, you can go wrong in a lot of cases as well. Like, I just recommend hiring someone to do your disavows for you. Mm-hmm. So that's like when it comes back down to like toxic links and stuff like that, it's not like the GSA blasts or the $20 gigs that you can get off Fiverr and legit and stuff that you should be worried about. It's actually the guest posts that you should be worried about.
Damn. Okay. And so how do we recover from this? I'm an affiliate website. I just got rocked, lost 50% of my traffic. What am I doing? Should I freak out?
So, or scream for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Have your downtime, but then we need to get to work. It's all about taking action. So what I would probably be doing is looking at your worst pages that weren't performing. You can very quickly do that using Screaming Frog. I have a video on my YouTube channel that shows you how to do it step by step. I'm actually doing a YouTube series breakdown of every single step you need to take to recover from this website, from this helpful content update. So step one would be to identify all your worst pages, and you need to be very strict on if you're going to actually improve upon those pages by adding in missing keywords, by building internal links, by building links to those pages, or if you're going to actually cull the page completely, like just remove it and maybe 301 it to a relevant blog or back to your homepage. So you need to essentially create a hit list of pages from that sense. Then when it comes to EEAT, actually go and spend time on your offers. Like I'm still seeing a lot of websites. I was actually saying this like a year ago, where I was seeing websites and I was like, this website is not future proof because the EEAT is just completely off. Like they've got an offer and that it's just a picture of a persona, right? And it's like, there's no other recollection of that person on the internet. Like you go and look at the Elon Musks of the world. He's not just mentioned on Tesla. He's mentioned on hundreds, if not thousands of other websites. So very quickly, Google can see this guy knows a thing or two about electric cars, right? So you need to essentially be more like Elon, right? And that doesn't mean go and get millions of links, but essentially just go and be a contributor on other websites. Like, for example, if you have a travel website and you have actually genuinely visited Thailand, for example, right? And one of your competitors hasn't visited Thailand, you could reach out to them and say, hey, I've got a load of spare images from my trip in Thailand. Can I upload these to your website with my name? And then you can link back to my website. That's another way of contributing to another website. Okay, yes, you're helping your competitor out, but right now you're minus fucking 60% in traffic. What would you rather be, minus 60% or actually like building up your EAT?
Minus 60.
So there's various ways of actually helping out like your EAT. Like there's again, like you can get trusted links. Like there's loads of them out there. For example, you can get I believe it is Muckrack. There's a lot of websites like that where you can get your offers listed on, and genuine offers are actually listed on those websites. So like you go and look at any of the offers on Search Engine Journal or Forbes or Eating Well, I believe it's called. I don't know if you've seen that website. It's like a healthy eating website. You look at any one of their offers, they've got a lot of things right.
They're
like,
everywhere.
Their offers are listed on other websites. Their offers actually have websites of themselves. Very quickly, you can like realize that, okay, there's a lot of EEAT in this website.
Do you think there's any relationship to AI content? Like, have you seen, because from my perspective, I haven't seen anything, just because I'm mostly working with clients now. There's no AI content that we're making for clients. I just don't want to take the risk. Have you seen on your side that maybe it's like an AI trend, or in theory, Google doesn't really care, right? So I don't know. What do you think?
Correlation doesn't always mean causation, right?
Okay.
So there could have been a lot of websites that were using AI content
Yep.
that did get hit. But again, going back to the SEO strategy that I was talking about before, I wouldn't necessarily blame the AI content, because there's AI content that I've seen that helps, like, that actually provides a lot of value.
Got it.
It's more so the actual SEO strategy. Like, there's a few YouTubers and stuff like that, which I won't mention, but they're all of their websites are down like 60-70%.
Dude, just say
And it
one
was
name.
I
No, that's
won't
fine.
I won't mention
No,
I
that's
won't
fine. That's
mention
fine.
it. But it's very much down to their SEO strategy. Like, their SEO strategy, and probably in another few more months after they roll out SGE, will be completely wiped out, because they were mainly going after question-based answers, and now SGE is obviously covering that.
Right.
So I reckon that their SEO strategy is just going to completely. They're going to need to change it, right? Because they're already down like 60%. They're probably going to go down another 20-30% once they roll out SGE fully.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that's super helpful, dude. Do you have any final tips for all those people that are freaking out right now?
Final tips. Don't procrastinate. There's a lot of people that are probably going to be publishing a load of blogs and loads of articles. You probably know what you need to do. You just need to take action, and it's not going to be an easy fix by any means. You're probably going to need to go in and give that love and care to all of your other pages that you probably were neglecting over the months and weeks that you were
Yeah.
earning money.
Yeah.
So just create a hit list of things to do and just tick it off one by one. I know that, again, it's probably not what everybody wants to hear. Everyone wants the quick fix where they just go in, press one button, and bang, results are back. But genuinely, if you think that Google's going to roll back this update, you're just deluded. Like, don't
No
think
chance.
that. There's not there, like, after every single update, you can pull up Twitter and you will see people saying, "Hey, John Mueller, can you please roll back the update?" John Mueller doesn't care about your website.
He doesn't give a fuck.
So yeah.
For sure.
And then obviously, like, just make sure that your correct EAT, like, trustworthy stuff are in place. Like, there's so many websites that I've been sent. Like, I've probably been sent about 30 websites over the past like 2-3 days. And there's a lot of things that are missing. Like, again, going back to helpful content, there's, in some cases, people that send me a website and they say, "Hey, look at this SERP. Why is this search being provided in an app?" Right? And it's like, well, it's, for example, people probably prefer downloading the app as opposed to browsing the website. So in some cases, you will need to like change the intent of that page. So yeah, like, just make sure that everything's spot on. And then also, one other thing that we've probably not mentioned that we probably should is the helpful content modifier as well. So again, you can have like the best page about a certain keyword, and like, you could be like miles ahead of everyone and like information gain, everything. But if you have a load of bad pages, it can pull down the entire domain. So that's another like new thing that they've rolled out. I believe it's the helpful content modifier, I believe they call it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called. But I know which one,
Basically, for anybody that doesn't know, let's say you have a 100-page website, and let's say 20 of those pages are super, like, you've got a nutritionist reviewing all the article, you've got a dietitian writing all the article, just spot on, perfect, 10 out of 10 pages. But if you have the other 80 pages that are actually useless, Google will penalize the 20 pages that are actually useful. So that's something to bear in mind. Like, you can have like a bucket of 20, 30, 100 articles that are really bad, and it could be pulling down your entire website. So again, like, when it comes to refreshing old content, make sure you're doing it, because the best smartphones 12 months ago aren't the best smartphones now. The best televisions 18 months ago aren't the best televisions now. So just make sure you're going back in and re-optimizing your content.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because I recently did a video about one of my clients that hit 100K in organic traffic a month, and they had this spike at the start of the year and then this plateau for like 8 months. And we're like, okay, what we have to do here is, instead of creating more content, I think they published like over 250 plus blog posts. We went in, we reviewed 50 or 60 of them, republished those, and when this update hit, it just took off. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that really helped. Cool, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna have to have you back for like a full-on pod where we hear all the things that you're up to, because you're doing a lot of things and it's really sick. But yeah, where can people find you? Your YouTube channel, anywhere else?
So you can find me on kasradash.com
Sick.
or Kasra Dash on Twitter or Kasra Dash on YouTube.
Love it.
Just
Perfect.
literally just Kasra Dash.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate your time, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.